man, listen. Yo, first of all, man, I'm Draco Bay. I'm Draco Bay. Pleasure to meet you. Yeah. I just had two bones to pick with Spence fans, man. I just need a couple minutes, man. I got two bones to pick. The first bone I got to pick is y'all say Spence is fundamentally sound. Y'all say he's basic. But then when somebody else says he's basic and fundamentally sound, now that he's facing TC, it's a problem with that. And the reason why it's a problem, y'all got a problem with that, is because y'all know that basic fundamentals just ain't gonna get it versus a TC. And that's why I believe that y'all have a problem with all of a sudden anybody else calling Spence basic. Because y'all used to call him the Tim Duncan of boxing. That's about as basic and as fundamental as you can get right there, okay? And that's the comparison that I made 2 years ago. So I think y'all ride my wave. On the second episode of Loyal to the Boxing podcast, Loyal to the Boxing Game podcast, I believe I said that on the second episode of that, and that was about 2 years ago. So I actually coined that phrase. The Tim Duncan of boxing is Errol Spence. The second thing that I wanted to, second bone I gotta pick is the Charlo versus TC. Spence fans say Spence be beating up Mel Charlo. He just beat up Mel Charlo. But when TC say, I'm gonna go up and snatch them belts from Mel Charlo, Spence fans say he has no chance in hell beating Charlo. Okay, so now if TC beats Spence, wouldn't that be logical for him beating Mel Charlo, according to how y'all think? Because y'all the ones that put that out there that said Spence be beating up Mel Charlo in sparring. So that's not far-fetched for TC to say, if Spence don't fight me, I can go up there and get that, holler at old Charlo. So don't act like, listen man, don't act like that shit is like on the moon or something when he say it. Because according to y'all, Spence be beating up Charlo. Y'all don't be making no sense, man. Y'all just be talking emotional. Y'all be grabbing narratives, running with it. Whoever say what, whoever don't agree with Errol, he's disrespectful. So y'all be disrespectful too. How can you be disrespectful to a great like Roy Jones? Then y'all fall in line and say, yeah, you know, Roy Jones is he does whatever he does. Antonio Tarver, oh, he must be punch drunk. Who else? Just Mike Tyson. Oh, Mike Tyson, he's delirious still. He's still on pills. He don't know what. Y'all discrediting Lennox Lewis. Y'all discrediting everybody. Now Canelo done came out and he chose TC. Now I wonder what is y'all gonna say about Canelo? He ain't gonna understand you anyway. So what y'all Spence fans gonna do? Y'all gonna learn Spanish just to dog Canelo out for saying that he picked TC over Errol Spence. Man, y'all need to get it together, man. Y'all need to get it together, man. Y'all need to get it together. And one more thing before I go. Y'all talking about signing the contract. 45% of $50 million I'm gonna put it like this. There's a big difference from 45% of 50 million to 45% of 100 million, or 45% of 200 million. There's a big difference. So when you have to go to the table sometimes and renegotiate, even though you sign for 45%, that number still stay the same. When that second number goes up, so does that percentage, or portion of that percentage goes up.
So it's Errol the Truth, Big Fish Spence Jr., the Tim Duncan of boxing. Salute to Drico Bay, the OG. He gonna be on the show tomorrow. Be sure to stop in. Probably do it around 5:30 Central Time, right? So if you're on the East Coast, it'll be 4:30. If you're on the West Coast, it'll be like 3:30 or something. If you're on the road, be sure to stop in. Just let it play, right? We'll have a show tomorrow. We're gonna talk about. We're gonna get his thoughts on the Spencer Crawford matchup, and in boxing in general. We're gonna talk boxing like we always do, right? But is Errol the Truth, Big Fish Spence Jr., the Tim Duncan of boxing? I would agree. And I think Errol Spence Jr. himself would agree as well. Errol Spence Jr. is very textbook, very, very fundamentally sound. I mean, his fundamentals is top tier, right? If you're looking for a guy, if you want to have a kid who wants to get into boxing, mimic a modern boxer of today, I will steer him towards Errol Spence Jr., right? Very fundamentally sound, keeps his hands up, proper distance, proper everything, right? Very, very fundamentally sound, right? He's not going to, very militant in his approach. He's not going to really break his game plan. Similar to Tim Duncan. Errol Spence Jr. is very similar to Tim Duncan in a lot of ways. Champions, right? Really mild-mannered guys. Errol Spence Jr. have that look on their faces, right? That stoic look, you know. Very fundamentally sound guys. Errol Spence Jr. is essentially Mr. Fundamentals of boxing. ABC 1, 2, 3. Some may say it's boring, right? But for Errol Spence, for him being so basic, right? And I don't want to say that like it's a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with that. But for him to be a guy so basic, for guys that's in boxing should know what Errol Spence is gonna do. He does a good job of imposing his will on guys, and they can't do nothing about it. They know what he's gonna do. Jab, 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 straight left hand, body hook, right? They kind of know what he's gonna do, and he still is able to do it. They can't stop it. Similar to Tim Duncan. Very fun. And in that era of basketball, if you was a basketball fan in that era, killers, right? I mean, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett, Tracy McGrady, all kinds of guys. And Tim Duncan was amongst the best, if not the best, right? Depending on what type of style you like. I was more of a Kobe Bryant guy, right? But Tim Duncan, very fundamentally sound. Champion, right? You know what he's going to do, right? But guess what? You can't stop it. And that's similar to Errol Spence Jr. So Errol Spence fans tend to get butthurt when you state the obvious, right? There's no shade towards Errol Spence of him being the Tim Duncan of boxing. Tim Duncan's one of the greatest basketball players of all time, right? He wasn't the flashiest guy. He wasn't the guy that's about to be packing slamming down the house and shooting these crazy, he's very fundamentally sound. He was very effective. You couldn't stop him. And Errol Spence Jr. is similar. Now we're going to see how this thing with Terrence Crawford plays out, right? We're going to see how that plays out. But you heard what the OG had to say. We're going to see him on the show tomorrow. And yeah, Errol Spence Jr., is he the Tim Duncan of boxing? Like, subscribe, holler at your boy. Peace out.